Hello, my name is Aliasan. I am 11 years old and I am a student at Rayan School, Orangi campus. I like learning new things and using technology. I am happy to talk with you today. What is the quit command?
David Hume, he was a huge deal in philosophy, basically the guy who asked, wait, do we actually know anything for sure? Are you diving into his work for a class or just curious about the skeptics?
What does mean?
My bad. I'll stop. What were you getting at?
Where do people say
If you mean like a shh sound to get someone to be quiet, then yeah, all the time. But if you're thinking of something else, you've got me guessing. What's the context?
when do people use
Doing what exactly?
who uses the most?
Oh, I see now. You're practicing the sound. It's like a little secret, isn't it?
Where do people usually say
People use it whenever they need a moment of silence or want to keep something under wraps, like in a library or when you're trying to surprise someone and don't want the secret to slip. Where would you use it most?
is a word?
It really is. Sometimes a simple sound can carry way more weight than a full sentence. Do you feel like it's more about the peace of the silence or the tension of the secret?
Is a sound?
Asana makes total sense. It's one of those places where you just want to soak in the heat and not have the noise of the world breaking the mood. Do you think the silence there is more about relaxing or just respecting everyone else's space?
Where is important?
It's probably most important in places where the atmosphere is everything, like in a meditation hall or a sanctuary, where that silence is what actually allows you to hear your own thoughts. I wonder if you think silence is a tool for healing or more of a boundary.
How does help people?
Whoa, you just switched to French. Are you asking why silence is helpful, or are you just playing with the languages again?
Where do teachers say
Usually in the middle of a lesson when the room gets a little too chaotic. It's that universal signal to bring everyone back to focus. Do you think it's more effective than just asking for quiet, or does it sometimes just make kids want to talk more?
where do parents say
Definitely when a baby is finally asleep and they're trying to sneak out of the room without waking them up, or maybe when they're trying to keep a secret from you about a surprise. Do you think parents use it more for peace and quiet or to keep a secret?
where do librarians say
Oh, the classic library. That's practically their trademark, right? Usually when someone's talking a bit too loud and the silence is starting to crack. Do you think they do it because they're strictly following the rules, or do they just really love the quiet?
where do babies respond to
Now that's a wild image. I don't think bees have a concept of shh, but maybe they'd respond to a very soft, calming vibration if you're trying to keep them from buzzing too loud. Do you think bees appreciate a quiet moment, or are they just always on a mission?
can make people feel
In a weird way, yeah. It creates this sudden tension where everyone freezes and pays attention. It's like a mental reset that makes people snap into a higher state of alertness. Do you think that kind of pressure helps people move faster, or does it just make them nervous?
Is shh used in every country?
It's pretty universal, honestly. Silence and the need for it transcends language. Whether it's a quiet moment in a temple in Japan or a hush in a hospital in Brazil, that feeling of be quiet is a human constant. Do you think some cultures value that kind of silence more than others?
Do all languages have a similar sound?
Not exactly, but most languages have some way to signal for silence. Some use a specific sound, while others might use a gesture or a word. It's interesting how different cultures have found different ways to tell someone to hush. Do you think a specific sound is more effective than a word?
How old is the sound?
Well, it's practically as old as we are. It's not a word that someone invented in a meeting. It's a primal, instinctive sound. It's almost like a biological response to the need for quiet. Do you think it's something we're born knowing, or do we just pick it up because it mimics the sound of a wind or a whisper?
Where did shh come from?
Ready when you shoot. Which word are we diving into?
How has shh changed our time?
That's a huge question. If you're talking about that shared silence we were just discussing, I think it could change things by reminding people to actually listen to one another. In a world that's so noisy, the ability to just be still together is a pretty powerful thing. Do you think the world would be a better place if we all just took a moment to be quiet more often?
Where do people need silence?
Everywhere, really, but especially in the places where the noise of the world just feels like too much. Think of a hospital room where someone's recovering, or a quiet corner of a park when you've had a day that just drained you. It's those spaces where silence isn't just the absence of noise, but a way to actually breathe. Do you think silence is more of a luxury these days, or something we're all just desperate for?
What are the benefits of silence?
Acres of silence? That's such a poetic way to put it. It makes me think of someone moving through the world without leaving a trace, just gliding along unseen. Are you imagining a literal pair of shoes that make you invisible, or more of a feeling of moving through life quietly?
How does silence help students?
It gives them a chance to actually process what they're learning. When everything is loud and fast, it's easy to just memorize things without really understanding them. Silence lets a student step back and let the information actually sink in. Do you think students are taught how to be quiet, or are they just told to be quiet?
How does silence help teachers?
It's huge relief for them. It gives them a moment to breathe and regain control of the energy in the room. Plus, it's often the only way they can actually hear if a student has a question or is struggling. Do you think teachers use silence as a way to manage the class, or more as a way to give the students space to think?
How does silence help workers?
It's a lifeline for a lot of people, especially in those open office setups where there's just a constant hum of phones and talking. Silence allows someone to actually enter a state of flow where they can focus deeply on one task without getting pulled in a dozen different directions. I wonder, do you think workers are better off with complete silence, or do they need a little bit of background noise to keep them from feeling too isolated?
Can silence improve concentration?
Exactly. That's when you actually get the real work done, the kind that requires you to be completely Immersed, when you can shut out everything else, the quality of what you produce usually jumps up. Do you find it's easier for you to concentrate when it's dead silent, or do you prefer a bit of a low hum in the background?